YouTube, what's going on, baby? It's your boy Ron Real, aka Double R, back in the building, back with another video. And yes, the time is finally here. We got the summer showdown coming up. We got 8 fantastic cigars, all MSRP under $10. I cannot wait to get this tournament started. I know a lot of you love Cigar Madness, love the tournament theme. I thought what better way to do it than to come back with a version of it with a lot cheaper cigars, but still we're not gonna sacrifice on quality. I cannot wait. This first matchup should be a banger. We got the Punch Knuckle Buster going up against the Crowned Heads Juarez. Y'all hang tight, stay tuned. We gonna get at it, baby. All right, Double R Army, we are back with that tournament style that everybody has grown to know and love. We are back. I'm very excited. This is the Summer Showdown introduction. First matchup, we're gonna be taking a look at the Juarez versus the Punch Knuckle Buster. I've decided to smoke the Punch Knuckle Buster first because I feel like the profile might be a little bit more favorable to smoke the darker profile thing in the end, so it's not drowning out the flavors of the first cigar. But we're gonna be taking a look at the Punch Knuckle Buster Habano. This has a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper, a Nicaraguan Habano binder, and it has filler from Nicaragua and Honduras. This is a Toro. This comes in as a 6x50, and it has an MSRP of $5.49. Can't beat it. Great price for this thing. I have grown very accustomed to smoking this cigar and enjoying it. Shout out to James from Black Line Luxuries. He's the one that first put me onto it. Even though of the non-Cuban brands, Punch is probably my favorite. I feel like they do a very good job and they're always price conscious at the same time. This wasn't really something that was on my radar. He smoked it first and said, Ron, you gotta try this out. I smoked it and really enjoyed it. And I thought it came right in line with the tournament that I was designing to do. So in Cigar Madness, I got a lot of, not really flack, but some concerns. Maybe some people were asking multiple questions of could I do a sampler pack, or are there some cheaper options that you would recommend? So it got my wheels turning. It got me to thinking about doing a tournament that wasn't really or was more price conscious. So everything in this tournament is going to be a $10 and under cigar, but that's not going to sacrifice on the quality or how much I enjoy these cigars. A lot of these are cigars I smoke on a daily basis, this being one of them, the Juarez being another one as well. So we'll go ahead and cut this up, light it, smoke it, and let you guys know about it. But this has it's not super shiny, but it has a little bit of a shininess to the tint, not overly done. The seams are they're visible, plainly visible, but they are tight. Not too much coming off the body, not a lot of tooth on this thing, and the cap is a little on the sloppy side. $5.49, man, for a Toro that I think is a pretty decent cigar, so not really gonna complain too much about it. As you guys know, the same concept goes with Cigar Madness. I'll smoke both cigars at one time, tell you guys my scoring system. The winner will move on, the winner will be eliminated. Same concept. So we'll go ahead and cut this up, smoke it, and see what it has to offer. A little cut on it. Somehow I lost my Zycar XO somewhere around here too, so I'm having to use my Enzo. Pretty good draw. Getting like some pepper and a little bit of like a red pepper spice on it. All right, see what we got. Almost lost another match. Good thing I'm indoors. But in the Juarez, we're gonna be smoking the Willy size. That's a 6x54. So if you notice, most of the cigars in this tournament are gonna be Toro sized, except for technically the Henry Clay Warhawk. All right, got a pretty good light. Now, I did offer this Summer Showdown package through Black Line. We had to recently stop the sampler because of 2 cigars that were kind of hard to find or starting to become back ordered. That was the Charter Oak Maduro and the La Kareem by Crowned Heads. Both of those cigars are becoming very hard to find. So just with inventory problems, we weren't able to get those 2 cigars, so we pulled the sampler. But I know a lot of you were able to order the sampler when I gave the heads up. So hopefully you're gonna be able to sit here and smoke with me during this tournament. If not, You know, you should be able to find most of these cigars in your local B&Ms. Punch Knuckle Buster should be a fairly simple one to find. Definitely getting a nice pepper on there, good Habano spice. I'd say black pepper's coming in around probably about a 6.5 or 7. Getting a nice wood base on that too. Almost like a bright cedar was kind of coming in too, but it's not really lasting. It's kind of flashing through. So this is a good one. What I like about Punch again too, the price point on this isn't bad. As you guys know, even though they were limited, the Punch Egg Roll was another very good cigar that was around $4. The Punch Chop Suey, they do the Rare Corojo. They have a lot of different cigars, and they very rarely get above that $10 price range. Actually, I can't think of any off the top of my head. So they're very price conscious and make a very good quality cigar. But so far, burn's looking good, draw's looking good. So we're gonna get through this first third. I'll come back, so y'all hang tight, stay tuned. I'll let you guys know about body, flavor, strength, you know, all that good stuff. So we'll catch you in a bit. All right, so we're making our way through this first third. Everything's been going fine. Burn line's not razor sharp, but nothing I don't think I need to pay attention to at the moment. There was a little bit of a hole that was kind of starting to develop, so I'll show you guys that in the B-roll. Like, it was a little bit of a section I was kind of worried about, but so far it hasn't really affected anything. Flavors have been still about the same. You're still getting nice doses of earth, black pepper. It's like a natural tobacco sweetness that just literally changed in the last draw or two. It's definitely more pronounced now, more of a cocoa mix coming out. It's not like intensely sweet, but it's like a very nice natural cocoa, like a cocoa powder that's in there now. Other than that, nothing too crazy. Right now I'm gonna go textbook medium on everything, body, flavor, and strength. Just a very enjoyable experience right now. Not overly complex, but again, we still have quite a bit of cigar left, but the addition of that cocoa powder mix has been really nice. So we'll keep on smoking through this second third, come back, let you know if any more changes happen or anything like that. So y'all hang tight and stay tuned. All right, so we're making our way through the second third, and it's a very good cigar. I just wish that a lot of the notes that I was getting would kind of stay put, for lack of better words. That cocoa powder that I was picking up is definitely gone away now. It's very faint. I wish that would have stayed in the front, because the cigar was really nice when that note was there. Still getting control predominantly. I would say there's some black pepper and a natural tobacco sweetness is gonna be what's predominantly gonna be what you pick up, or what I'm picking up. A little bit of earth in the background for the finish. The creaminess is there, but it's very slight. And then even for about 10 minutes or so, I was getting around, or getting a little, I know I'm gonna get crucified for this, but I was picking up a little bit of a buttered note, like buttered popcorn almost, but even that flavor is gone now too. So mostly black pepper and a naturally sweet tobacco note is what I'm picking up. Burn line again is not razor sharp. I haven't had to do any relights or touch-ups, which is always nice, but the ash is very flaky, so I'm having to make sure that I'm holding over the ashtray, because you know when you have a flaky ash, it's kind of subject to fly all over you or drop at any given moment. So I'm having to pay attention to that. But overall, very good experience so far in this cigar, especially at the price point. It's a no-brainer for me. I was looking online. I think you can get a box of 25 of these for under $110, which for me, that becomes this becomes a very good daily smoker. This is a cigar that you could pick up at any given moment. You're cutting the grass or doing whatever around the yard or driving or whatever. This is a very good cigar, where meaning that it's a good cigar that you know it's a good cigar, but it's not one you want to make sure you have to sit down and pay attention to flavor notes or nuances or anything like that. Just a very good run-of-the-mill kind of cigar, but a very good price point on it too. Still feel like the body, flavor, and strength is still around a medium for me. No real nicotine hit for me at all. So I'll keep on smoking, get through this second third, get through the final third, come back, give you guys some points, and we'll see if this Juarez can't take it down. But this is gonna be a very good, very good matchup. I didn't want to do any seeding in this one. I just picked the 8 cigars, and I picked the cigars that I thought would be matched up the best, that would give a closer matchup. So that's how I did that. On that note, man, we'll be back in this last third, come back with some points, so y'all hang tight. All right, so we're finishing up this cigar. Burn line is tightened up some, as I expected. As we got a little bit farther down, the ash is a little bit more compact, still a little flaky on the top. the natural sweetness of the tobacco is still there, but it's kind of drawing down a little bit more, definitely picking up a little bit more of that spice, and black pepper has kind of been, and the earth has been the predominant flavors of this last third. So I'll go ahead and score it. I'm pretty comfortable with scoring it now. Don't think it's gonna change too much more. So for the flavor, I gave it a 16 out of 20. Good flavors from start to finish. Not as intense as I normally enjoy the most, but still a very enjoyable cigar. The draw, I gave it 20 out of 20, never had any issues. Burn, I gave it 20 out of 20. Even with the ash being flaky, I never had to do any relights or touch-ups, so gotta give points where they're due. So 20 out of 20 for the burn. Gave the complexity at 16 out of 20. Not gonna be the most complex blend, but there are some nice flavors in there. I just wish a lot of them would have stayed for the duration of the cigar. Would have definitely elevated this cigar up a lot more. And I gave the strength a 16 out of 20, which is gonna give the overall score on this Punch Knuckle Buster Toro 88 out of 100. Very good cigar, not elite. At this price point though, I say that this is a daily smoker. Definitely, I would recommend buying a 5-pack. If you can afford a box, I would say get a box. If you can find a box for $100, $110, somewhere in there, which I've seen online, all day long, I would pick up a box of these, and this would be a daily smoker, or considered a daily smoker for me. So just trying to debunk the myth that all cheaper cigars are bad. This is a prime example of a sub $6 cigar that I feel like is very good. So on that note, we'll get over to this Juarez by Crowned Heads and see if it can do any better, see if it can take it down. So y'all hang tight, stay tuned, we'll get on this Juarez. All right, so we just got done with the Punch Knuckle Buster. Very good performance by it. Now we're gonna take a look at the Crowned Heads Juarez, which I'm a really big fan of, especially in the shots XX size. This one that we're gonna be smoking today is called the Willy. It is a 6x54 Vitola, so I would say almost a super Toro, so to speak, Toro, Gordo, whatever kind of weird name people come up with, but 6x54 is the size. It has a Mexican San Andres wrapper, it has an Ecuadorian Sumatra binder, and it has filler from Nicaragua and Dominican Republic. It's a very nice appearance on this cigar too. Nice hefty feel to it. Not too much off the smell either, just more or less just natural tobacco smell. But it has tight invisible seams. Again, this one's not very toothy, but it has a lot neater cap than the Punch Knuckle Buster. Band's nice and loose. It's been sitting in my humidor for quite a while. So MSRP on this one is $6.49. I want to say. I'll come back probably in another segment after I look it up and make sure, but I want to say the cigar retails for $6.49. So again, another cigar that's way under the $10 price point that I feel like is a very good cigar. So we'll go ahead and cut them up, light them, smoke them, and see what we got. Just a little shave off the top. Good draw. All right, see what we got. This is a lineup that Crowned Heads does that I'm actually really happy that's starting to get a lot of notoriety. I feel like most people, for the most part, like the Juarez lineup. Tabacalera Pichardo's doing a lot of great things. They also have they released a new blend called the Mil Diaz that'll be out next month sometime. I've already got a chance to smoke through that whole lineup. I think they're doing some really good stuff over there, and really happy to see John kind of shining through with another farm, another manufacturer that's doing some really good stuff. Good smoke output on this already. Cap's kind of loose on it, but I think we'll be all right. Good, nice earth on that. Little bit of a black pepper, kind of a red pepper spice on that too. Yeah, you're getting a nice pepper, a nice clean minerally. It's kind of a minerally earth, but it's not mineral twang or anything that's bad. It's actually really nice. Kind of reminds me a lot of when I smoke some Plasencia cigars. They'll have that kind of that minerally earth taste, but it's not like a lot of the Dominican tobacco that will have that like twang or that sourness to it. This is very nice. So we'll let this thing get heated up. I'll get through this first third, come back, give you body, flavor, strength, all that good stuff. So y'all hang tight and we'll be right back. All right, so we're making our way through this first third. As you'll see in the B-roll, I had to make one small touch up. The burn line was starting to get a little bit too far out of hand. I had to correct it before it got too much further along. I didn't want it to affect any flavors or anything like that. So after this correction, burn line's still been good. Actually, before that too, the construction is still up to par with Crowned Heads standards. Very, very good construction typically from that company. Draw has been perfect. A lot of smoke output when you're smoking this cigar. Still picking up a lot of, the black peppers died off some. You're still getting mostly earth. Nice oak wood in there, a little bit of a black coffee base too. Not really much sweetness, like faint cocoa powder maybe on that finish, but probably I'm reaching a little bit on that. It is actually I wouldn't even say cocoa powder. I'm gonna go more along the lines of like a natural tobacco sweetness too. It's not quite at that cocoa level yet, and it's really more so on that finish, which is probably around a medium right now. Textbook medium on everything, body, flavor, and strength. This is another pretty solid performer here. Correction too, on the first segment, I mentioned that the retail on this was $6.49. It's actually $6.95 is MSRP. Still a great price on this, below $7 for a really nice size cigar, 6x54. Most people are Toro fans, so this will fall right in line to what you like. But other than that, nothing really to report back. Still enjoying this a lot too. So still got quite a bit of cigar left. So we will get through this second, third, let you guys know if any change ups or anything like that. So y'all hang tight and stay tuned. All right, so we're working our way well into this second, third, getting ready to take the band off. Not too much to report. Still medium body, still medium flavor, still medium strength. Flavor notes have been about the same, other than a little bit of a breadiness in there. Black pepper's still there, but died down a little bit. Still getting some earthiness, still getting some oak wood, still getting natural tobacco sweetness, especially on that finish. Not a bad cigar, just not very complex. It's still a good cigar, so still got quite a bit to go. I'll go through and smoke, get through this last third, come back with some numbers, and we'll see who's the winner of this matchup. So y'all hang tight and stay tuned. All right, so we're getting finished up with this Juarez Willy Lee. Starting to pick up a little bit of bitterness that I'm not really too fond of, so I'm not gonna force myself to smoke it to make the experience worse. So I'm gonna end it here. Feel comfortable scoring it. Still about the same. I'm still gonna say medium on body, flavor, and strength. No real nicotine hit on this. Still getting that breadiness. Still a lot of the same flavor notes that I got in the second, third. So I'll go ahead and score it. For flavor, I still gave it a 16 out of 20. Still was pretty good flavors. Again, the problem for me was just the intensity of it, which was, it's all subjective. Another person may smoke it and think it's right where they need it to be. For me, I just prefer something a little bit more intense flavor-wise. For the draw, I gave it a 20 out of 20. Never had any issues from the cut up to the very finish. Perfect draw on it. I gave the burn a 19 out of 20. Just took a point away for the correction I had to make early on in the first third. Complexity is what really hurt this cigar for me. I gave it a 14 out of 20. Though it was a good cigar, it was just pretty much a one-trick pony from start to finish. I got a little bit of a breadiness in there. The finish still had a little bit of that natural sweetness from the tobacco taste. But really, other than that, nothing really jumping around. No crazy cedar or chocolate notes or anything, tea or floral. There was nothing really that jumped out that made it much more of an interesting cigar to me. Still was very good, and I gave it the strength of 16 out of 20. Still ended up around that textbook medium, maybe a notch above medium, but nothing too crazy, nothing to worry about as far as breaking out in cold sweats or anything like that. It's not going to be anything of that nature. So overall score on this is going to be an 85 out of 100. Very comfortable with that. I feel like the Punch Knuckle Buster definitely outperformed it today. Just offered a little bit more as far as flavors and a little bit more of complexity, which is more up my alley. So it was a pretty easy score for me. Still feel like both cigars are 5-pack worthy for sure. I still feel like this is a very good cigar. Both price points are very good. Still under $7 for a Toro size cigar with this. This is another cigar that if I'm out cutting the grass or if I'm driving or doing something and I don't want to really pay attention to a cigar, but I know it's still going to be a good cigar, this will be something I definitely wouldn't hesitate to pick up. So with that being said, man, thank you guys for tuning into the first episode of the Summer Showdown. I hope you enjoyed it. Looking forward to a lot of the other matchups. Looking forward to see who takes the Summer Showdown crown home. And on that note, y'all already know the name of the game is relaxation and enjoyment. And don't forget to be driven, never motivated. We're going to catch y'all on this next one.